Good evening, Mayor, City Council, and members of the public. My name is Albert Ramirez, and I'm the Assistant Housing Director here with the City of Oxnard, and will be presenting today's item. People Self-Helping People Self-Help Housing is a nonprofit housing organization that works to provide affordable rental and for-sale housing to low-income households. For the past 52 years, People Self-Help Housing has been one of the leading nonprofit housing developers in San Luis Obispo, Santa Barbara, Monterey, and Ventura counties. In February of 2021, People Self-Help Housing received entitlements to develop Cypress Place at Garden City, a 150-unit development located at 5536 and 5482 Cypress Road. The development is comprised of 148 rental units for households with incomes between 30 and 80% of the area median income. The development also includes 2 manager units and will remain affordable for 55 years. The project is located on an all-affordable housing opportunity site and also received a density bonus, thus requiring individual regulatory agreements to memorialize the affordability covenants required under each program. People Self-Help Housing is developing Cypress Place at Garden City in 2 phases. Phase 1 will consist of 90 units comprising of 89 affordable rental units targeting low-income and farm worker families earning between 30 and 80% of their median income, and 1 manager unit. Phase 1 will also include all of the development's amenities. In Phase 2, People Self-Help Housing will develop the remaining 60 units, which consist of 59 affordable rental units and 1 manager unit. People Self-Help Housing successfully obtained the funding necessary to develop Phase 1, which has a development budget of $66 million. The primary funding sources came from the California Department of Housing and Community Development, which will provide a $36 million forgivable equity loan under the New Housing Accelerated Program and an $8 million loan under the Joe Cerner Farm Worker Housing Program. People Self-Help Housing will also plan to take out a $13 million permanent loan to support the development. While the majority of the funding needed to complete the development was obtained, a financial gap still existed. In February of 2023, City Council authorized loaning People Self-Help Housing $1.6 million in home funds and $1.5 million in community development block grant funds to close the gap and make the project financially viable. In March of 2023, People Self-Help Housing closed on their construction loan financing. As part of the construction loan closing, the required city loan and regulatory agreements were executed and recorded. During the closing, HCD made People Self-Help Housing and the city aware that they would not be ready to close on their portion of the financing. Although HCD was not ready, People Self-Help Housing was able to close and begin construction. HCD is currently finalizing their loan documents with People Self-Help Housing, and in that process, they've requested that the city subordinate its regulatory agreements. HCD regulations expressly prohibit HCD's regulatory agreement and deed of trust from subordinating to a lien of a local government entity. The city's AAHOP and density bonus regulatory agreements meet HCD's definition of a lien of a local government agency, and the city's financial assistance and affordable housing portfolio do not meet the thresholds that would allow HCD to subordinate to the city. Placing HCD's regulatory agreements in a senior position does not negatively impact the project nor the city's position in any way. On the contrary, it strengthens the project's affordability by placing HCD's more restrictive regulatory agreement in a senior position. HCD is allowing the city's regulatory agreement to remain superior to HCD's deed of trust, thereby preventing the city's regulatory agreements from being wiped out in the event of an HCD foreclosure. Today, the Housing Department is recommending that the City Council authorize the Housing Director to execute a subordination agreement and any and all related documents thereto with People Self-Help Housing and the California Department of Housing and Community Development for Cypress Place at Garden City. Thank you, and that concludes today's presentation.